This last weekend, in a fit of nostalgia, I went back through some old VHS tapes that I have. Yes, I still have some working VCRs because I am a relic of a bygone era, and found my copy of The Mighty Ducks. It's kind of cheesy and campy, but it's the sort of feel good movie that the 90s produced in mass, and that makes me glad I was old enough to pay attention to movies in the 1990s. However, I had a sort of interesting discovery as I, for the first time in my life, paid attention to the credits and it rolled through some of the players, and I recognized a name and not in a good way. As you may know, there's an actor, famous or infamous probably is more like it, for not his career or his philanthropy, but for the hate crime hoax for which his name has gone down in infamy, where he, in order to draw attention to himself or to draw attention to someone else he didn't like, hired two black people to fake an attack or something ridiculous in a hate crime hoax. And so this is why I recognized his name. Now, if you look at his filmography, which is down here a little further, you will see that his very first movie is The Mighty Ducks. Terry Hall, one of the brothers. I'm not sure which one, and he was nominated for an award. And then I look at this, and I haven't seen any of these movies, none of them. And there's not that many, considering how long he's been an actor. What's this? 25 years. He's been in 10 movies, 3 that are short films, and 1 that's a direct-to-video. So how is he credited as an actor? And then he's been on some television. Let's see, have I seen any of these? I've heard of the Mindy Project, which didn't last very long. This is a talk show, but yeah, and then played himself in The Anatomy of a Hoax. Like, how is this dude an actor? Okay, this is sort of a pathetic filmography list, but it's interesting that the evil that men do lives after them, and the good is often interred with their bones, because the, the original movie in which he was cast had not foreshadowed very well at all what would happen to him in his life. Apparently, the lessons that film tried to teach us were totally lost on him as an individual, and he got nowhere slowly over a period of 35 years, becoming nothing except for a hiss and a byword. It's interesting to go back and look at your heroes, to go back and look at things and look at where people came from. This is something I do a lot in movies, where I go back and go, oh, that's this person from that. And I've been doing it my whole life. For example, we're watching the movie Scaramouche, and I pointed out to my family, oh, that's the same woman that plays the Baroness Schrader in The Sound of Music. And my parents hadn't noticed that yet. Poor woman never seems to get the man. But it's interesting to go back, those who are the supporting actors, who are not, the leads, and see what happens to them, because a lot of them end up going nowhere. And some of them, like this particular case, have a very tragic ending. It's very unfortunate that in a movie about coming from nothing and achieving through fair play and hard work, he was not able to achieve anything through fair play and hard work, and so committed a hoax. And it's funny because in that movie, there's a line that they say, we can't even win when we cheat. And it would be even funnier if it was said by him. It's not. Otherwise, it would be really funny, because they can't even win when they cheat. And he didn't even win when he created a hoax. It didn't create any kind of publicity or career boost that it might have, in a time when people will do anything for their 15 minutes of fame, it seems. And so it's just kind of tragic to watch the cast of this movie sort of precipitate into nothing, or any of the members, because most of these people, although they didn't have a particularly stellar acting career, Emilio Estevez being the predominant exception to the rule, these there were so many places you could have ended up. And instead of ending up somewhere good, he ends up going down in history for a hoax. And it's funny, if you look at this, That's like the longest section on here is about the hoax. And they made him pay. They fined him. They convicted him for a felony, and then he, I guess, was able to capitalize it by starring as himself in a documentary about his fake hoax. And this is what anyone knew him from. But I saw his name in the credits of the Mighty Ducks and thought, I think I know who that is. And it's sad why, because I don't think that's the role he wants. I think if I were he, I'd rather go down in history as being just one of the kids in the Mighty Ducks than being part of a hate crime hoax. So I hope goes well for him. And remember that at the funerals, people tend to say nice things about people because that's how we want to be remembered. So live a life that you want to be remembered. And that's what Jussie Smollett's life shows us ought to be done. Anyway, make good choices, do the right thing, and then whatever Wikipedia says, maybe you'll get longer paragraphs about other episodes of your life.